Welcome back, everyone. It's time for Daybreak in 10 on Color 10.
We are on the air with you for the next 10 minutes, commercial free, beginning right now. And first, let's head on over to meteorologist Elisa Raffa with our forecast first. Good morning, Elisa.
Good morning. We are starting out with some fog out there this morning. A dense fog advisory is in effect through 9 o'clock along and south and east of the interstate from Rolla back towards Branson and then into northwest Arkansas. Again, visibility could drop to a quarter mile or less at times in that area. We haven't really seen much outside of this camera all morning. In Springfield, it is 54 degrees with some light southerly winds. Visibility is down to about a half a mile to 3/4 of a mile from Fort Leonard, Camden, and up towards Clinton. So again, just be careful out there this morning. A little bit cooler at the bus stop by about 5 to 10 degrees. It's 50 degrees in Camden and 54 degrees in Springfield. Lots of sunshine as you're homeschooling today. You'll find bright skies outside of your window, 80 degrees, and again, very nice and sunny. So quiet out there on Futurecast. The middle 50s overnight under clear skies. Lots of sunshine again tomorrow, just a little bit warmer with those temperatures in the low to middle 80s. So nice sunshine through the next 3 days, a little bit warmer Friday into Saturday. The weekend, you'll find those temperatures in the middle and upper 80s. So I think some corn mazes are opening up, but it won't feel like fall. You'll find those temperatures about 10 degrees above average in the middle and upper 80s Saturday and Sunday, but very nice, warm, dry and sunny. So it'll be great out on the fields. After a warm weekend, a big cool down going into next week with highs in the 70s Monday and Tuesday. We could get stuck in the 60s by Wednesday. Overnight lows also find a big cool down as well, where we have some 60s this weekend, and then we could find some starts in the 40s by Wednesday and Thursday morning. The 7-day pretty dry and sunny, not really finding any rain chances, just that big temperature roller coaster. Jen?
All right, Elisa, thank you. Well, the CDC is discouraging door-to-door trick-or-treating and Halloween parties this year. Color 10's Nigel McDonald met with local health experts and joins us live now with more on their recommendations and what families are planning to do. Nigel, good morning.
Yeah, Jen, well, good morning. The Springfield Greene County Health Department says it understands that some families will choose to celebrate Halloween. It says it just wants people to do so safely. Now, the health department says that the key to a healthy Halloween includes practicing the 3 W's. Wash your hands, wear a mask, and watch your distance. Kara Irwin with the health department says contactless trick-or-treating is encouraged. Consider setting out a grab-and-go bags of candy to avoid a communal candy bowl. She says it's not a bad idea to have hand sanitizer available for trick-or-treaters, and families who plan on celebrating are encouraged to stick with their household contacts.
We do want people to avoid large gatherings because that is going to increase the spread of the disease. So if you can have a party virtually, or again, just celebrate with your household members, or try to celebrate in a way that's going to guarantee that you have at least 6 feet between you and other people. Those are going to be the safest ways to celebrate this Halloween.
Well, the CDC says that a Halloween face mask is not a substitute for those approved face cloth coverings. Reporting live in Springfield, Nigel McDonald, Ozarks First.
Springfield Catholic High School is going fully virtual for the next few weeks due to positive COVID-19 tests. A handful of students tested positive, as well as the football coach. The school has about 400 enrolled for this year. So for the next couple of weeks, it's moving completely online. The school will reassess what to do in a couple of weeks. As of now, the football program will be the only sport that suspends play.
That's where the exposures were. I mean, if they were in another program, they would be quarantined as well. So it's really that simple. And we're hoping to get back going again next week and then the following week with school.
We hate this as much as I know they do too, but we just felt it was in the best interest of definitely our students and our faculty, to just take a break and just, see if we can get everything back to where it was when we started in August.
Now, virtual learning for the school started yesterday, but that's something students had gotten used to because they had to do that in order to finish the school year back in the spring.
Can the local postal service handle an increase in absentee and mail-in voting for the November election? That's a question our team set out to answer. Because of the pandemic, any registered voter in Missouri can request a ballot through the mail if they don't want to vote in person on November 3rd. The concern came over the summer when the new Postmaster General took out mailboxes and equipment nationwide as a cost-saving cutting move. Critics argue the move was designed to slow the mail system. In a Color 10 investigation, we tested it out. 42 envelopes were sent from different towns here in the Ozarks to see how fast they would arrive at our rented post office box. The results, nearly all the mail was ready for pickup the next day. To see this full story and hear the Greene County Clerk's response on when you should receive and mail back your ballot, you can find the story on ozarksfirst.com. And join us tonight for part 2 of this investigation. Color 10's Dr. Brian Calfano is showing us what delivery times are like for people who may be voting absentee or mail-in from out of state. See those results tonight on Color 10 News at 10.
Moving to some news from around the region for you, St. Louis County Executive Dr. Sam Page is relaxing youth sports guidelines starting Monday. Competitions in high-contact sports for kids younger than 14 will now be allowed. Previously, there was no playing at all. High school students and those older will still be restricted from competitive play from sports like football and ice hockey, but they still can play moderate contact sports like soccer, volleyball, and baseball. 2 fans per athlete will be able to attend outdoor sporting events. No spectators will be allowed for indoor sports.
Bike blues and barbecue has become a tradition for many, but its cancellation isn't stopping bikers from getting out on the road and visiting Arkansas for another event. The Pig Trail Harley-Davidson decided to keep its Rally Off 86 event. General Manager Kyle Johnson says vendors are spread out and signs are up encouraging face coverings and social distancing.
We had so many people reach out and, once they were coming, asking us, what are you guys doing? What are you doing? It means a lot to them. It's a brotherhood when it comes to motorcyclists, and, we're happy to be able to provide something for them so they can have some good times.
Johnson says he worked with the Department of Health to make sure they had everything in place to keep staff and visitors safe. The event goes through Sunday.
In some news around America, protesters lined the streets in Louisville, Kentucky after a grand jury brought no charges against police for Breonna Taylor's death. A grand jury charged former officer Brett Hankison with 3 counts of wanton endangerment. That means he's charged for firing into the homes of Taylor's neighbors. Louisville police said 2 officers were shot during the demonstrations. The police chief said their injuries were not life-threatening and a suspect is in custody for that.
Protesters also gathered in other cities across the U.S. In Milwaukee, Wisconsin, protesters gathered outside the county courthouse, taking down flags and replacing them with ones to represent the fight for equality and fairness. Protesters then marched onto an interstate, blocking traffic for miles.
Nearly 400 protesters marched through downtown San Diego after that ruling was made as well. The protest remained peaceful with just one confrontation where protesters blocked the street when a driver took off.
Police in Portland, Oregon declared a riot after protesters damaged a police building. The crowd was told to vacate or face tear gas or arrest. Protests have been ongoing in Portland for months now.
In news from around the world for you, at least 28 people were killed in the Nigerian state of Kogi after a gas tanker exploded and started a fire. A spokesman for the Federal Road Safety Corporation said 9 children were involved in the accident, which took place opposite a gas station. Vehicles, properties, and other valuables were also destroyed in the fire there.
We have a traffic alert for you now. Drivers can expect delays along Fremont Avenue between Battlefield Road and Sunset Street for the next week. Crews will be working on final pavement improvements in that area. The work is slated to begin this morning in just a few minutes and go through Wednesday the 30th. 1 lane of Fremont will remain open in each direction. Pedestrian improvements are expected to be finished by October, and new concrete islands for the new northbound right turn lane is expected to be done by November. And now here's a quick look at what's coming up after daybreak.
Coming up, we're in Louisville where protests turned violent after no officers were charged directly with the killing of Breonna Taylor. Plus, one airline's new rapid testing program that checks flyers for COVID-19 at the airport. Coming up on CBS This Morning.
In our trends right now, Breonna Taylor, of course, is a big trend that's happening. You'll see more about that on CBS this morning. We've also got some tough news for fans of cakes, right?
Yes.
Or cakes and TV shows.
Or
Right.
I'm a fan of cakes. I'm a fan of all the Food Network shows and anything that has to do with food and the cakes. So Cake Boss, Buddy Valastro, he got in an accident bowling at his home, bowling alley at home, and he basically crushed his hand. So he had to have surgery. Now it'll be a long recovery for him to be able to cook again. And that was what I was thinking about when I read this. It was bowling accident at home. And now
Save the cannolis.
Save the cannolis. It'll
That's
be a
all
long
she thinks
recovery, but he'll recover and I'll get there again.
I'm thinking he's got a
Glad he's
home
doing
bowling
well.
alley.
Yeah, that
Ooh,
too. Look
Cake
at that.
Boss money pays well.
Yeah,
right?
it does.
That's what I'm thinking. All right, we've got a little hit of summer coming our way, right?
Yeah, by the weekend, you're looking at temperatures in the middle and upper 80s, sunshine the whole way through, just much cooler next week.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this morning on Daybreak. Don't forget, your news is always on ozarksfirst.com.